In this video, we will be doing a Unit 1 review that will help you prepare for our first assessment. The first section is the multiply and divide section. The first one says 7,000 divided by 7. I'm going to write that over here. I'm going to underline the digits that are not 0. 7 and 7. 7 divided by 7 is 1. Another way to think about this, if you get confused, if you have 7 cookies and you want to give them out to your 7 friends, each friend will get 1 cookie. So that's why our answer is 1. Next, since I don't have any zeros here, I'm not going to cross any out. So it stays in the same place value. So our answer would be 1,000. Number 2 says 400,000 divided by 100 equals blank. For this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to underline the digits that are not 0, which are 4 and 1. And I'm going to say 4 divided by 1 is equal to 4. If you had 4 cookies and you're dividing them up by one person, that one person gets all 4 cookies. Next, I'm going to look how many zeros are in my smaller number. So I see 1, 2 zeros, my smaller number. That's how many zeros I'm going to be taking away from my larger number. Then I count the zeros that are left in the number, and that's how many zeros are in my answer. 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. So my answer would be 4,000. This happens because I'm going back 2 place values. So if I go back 2 place values, that means I need to take away 2 of the zeros. Number 3 is 4,000 times 100. When I multiply, if I was thinking about a place value chart, every time I go up, it multiplies by 10. So every time I add I multiply it by 10, I go up a place value. So that's why we're adding zeros when we multiply. So I'm going to underline the digits that are not 0 to start off with. So 4 times 1 is 4. Next, I'm going to count up the zeros because this is 1, 2, 3 place values. And then this goes up 2 more place values. So I need 3 plus 2 more zeros to be 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The answer is 400,000. Lastly, number 4, 20,000 times 10. I'm going to underline the digits that are not 0. 2 times 1 is 2. This one already has 4 place values, and I'm going up 1 place value, so that will give me 5 place values, 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my answer to this one is 200,000. We're going to move on to the place value vocabulary. Before I go over these, I'm going to go over what each of these things mean. Digit is a number from 0 to 9. Value is how much a number is worth in the certain place value that it's in. And place is asking for one of the places on the place value chart, such as thousands, hundreds, tens, ones. So the first one says, what is the digit in the hundreds place? So the first thing I would do if I were you, I would label the top of my number, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and 100,000s. If that's too small, you could come over here and make a place value chart. So I'm zoning in on this word digit. Remember, a digit is a number from 0 to 9. So the digit in the hundreds place, I'm going to look up here in the hundreds place. I see a 4. So the digit in the hundreds place is 4. It's not 400. It's not hundreds place. It's 4 because my answer has to be from 0 to 9 because it's asking me for the digit in that place. Next, I'm looking for the value. Remember, the value of that number is how much it's worth. So, for example, the value of the 6. So I'm going to come up here. The 6 is in the 100,000s place. I'm not going to write 6 because that would be a digit. I'm not going to write 100,000s because that is its place. I'm going to do 6 times 100,000, which is 600,000. Next, I'm going to find place. What is the place? What place is the digit 7 in? So the digit 7, I'm looking for a place, which I need a word, is in the thousands place. So that is the difference between digit, value, and place. Digit, you want an answer from 0 to 9. Value, you want how much that number is worth. And place, you want it should either be ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, or millions. Next, we are going to move on to our MBT.1.1 section. It says, use the place value charts when given to help you answer the questions. Number 8, how many times greater is the value of 5 in 2,573 than the value of 5 in 6,459? So I have a place value chart. On your test, you may not have one, but I would suggest writing one. So I'm going to put 2,573 on the first line, and then on the second line, 6,459. So I'm comparing from this first one to the second one. So I'm going to draw an arrow from the first one to the second one. I know that in place value, our magic number is 10. Every time I move up a place value, the value is 10 times greater. So if I took this out, the value of 5 is 500, and the value of this one is 50. I could also see that 50 times 10 will give me 500. So this answer will be 10 times greater. 500 is 10 times greater than 50. This next one, I made a little bit of a typo. This 7 should actually be an 8. So if you did not change it already, make sure you change it now. How does the value represented by the digit 8 and 870 compare to the value of the digit 8 and 81? Even though it's worded differently than this one, this is the same type of problem. So I'm going to put the number 870 first. I'm going to put the number 81 second. And then I'm going to compare the digits by drawing an arrow from the first one till I get to the second one. So from the first 8 to the second 8. This is similar to this one. It is over one place value, so it's 10 times greater than the first one is 10 times greater than the second one. I could check that by saying 800 equals 80. That's the value of this one. 800 is the value of that one, times 10. 8 times 10 still gives me 800. So that value is 10 times greater. Next, what is the greatest possible 5-digit number using the digits 7, 8, 3, 9, and 0? If I want to get the greatest possible number, then I have to put these digits in order from greatest to least. So I'm going to start with my number 9. Next greatest is 8, 7, 3, 0. So that answer is 98,730. We're going to move on to MBT.2, which is comparing numbers and writing numbers in different ways. Number 11 says write the number 907,000 in standard form. Standard form is just writing it as a regular number. So 907,000. So the comma is really helpful when being able to solve these problems. So when I look at this, I see 907. So I'm just going to write the number 907 to start with. Since I know that's in the thousands place, I need to add digits for my ones, tens, and hundreds. So this would be 907,000. One thing I want to remind you of on the test, when you do things with word form into standard form, I would like you to whisper or in your head read the word that it's writing to you and the one that is in standard form to make sure they look the same. So this is 907,000, and then I'll read my answer aloud to myself, 907,000. So I know my answer is correct. Sometimes you may forget a 0 or do a silly mistake. So I want to make sure that you guys don't make silly mistakes on your assessments. So make sure you go back and check your work. This one, there's 2 different ways that we could solve it. One way, I'm going to draw a place value chart. Ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, and 100,000s. So I'm going to start by using my chart, but some of them I have to make into expanded form and multiply them and then add them. But let's see how we could use our chart and how we could add them. So our question says, select all of the options with 54,625 written in expanded form. Hint, draw a place value chart or find the value of all numbers and add them. So I'm going to show you both. So the first one I'm going to do with my place value chart. So I'm going to keep my work nice and neat and divide it up in A, B, C, D, and E. 5 10,000, so I'm putting a 5 in the 10,000s place. 46 hundreds, 25 ones. So now I'm going to go through. I cannot keep 46 in the hundreds and 25 in the ones because I want to find this number in standard form in order to see if the answer is 54,625. So 5 in the 10,000s place is okay, but 46 in the hundreds place is not. 46 times 100 is 4,600. So I could actually move this 4 over to the thousands place because that's actually 4 thousands and erase it from my hundreds place. 25 times 1, if I put that into a place value chart, will be 25. So that shows me I can move my 2 over to the tens place and erase it from the ones place. So this number is 54,625. That's my same answer here, so I'm going to select that one. But remember, this one says select all that apply. So even though the first one was right, that does not mean I stop. I have to keep working to see if the other ones are correct as well. Let's move down to B. 5 10,000s, 4 thousands, 62 hundreds, 5 ones. 5 10,000s okay, 4,000s okay, but now I have 62 in the hundreds. 62 times 100 is 6,200. So I could move my 6 over to the thousands place, but I already have a 4 in there. If I want to continue working with the place value chart, I would add 4 and 6, I would get 10. That means I would have to move 1 over to here, make this a 6, make this a 0. There's a lot of erasing going on and a lot of extra steps. So if we don't want to do it like that, if we get that gets very confusing, I would suggest once you see that you have to add it to another place value and regroup, I would suggest using the strategy that you would find the value of all the numbers and add them. So I'm going to do B over here on the side. I'm going to find the value of all these numbers. So 5 10,000s I know is 50,000. 46 hundreds, 46 times 100 is 4,600. Oops, I accidentally went down to C for that one. I just have 4 thousands there. So I'm actually on this one right here. I'm going to underline it for myself to keep myself in order. So 4 thousands would just be 4,000. 62 hundreds, 62 times 100 would give me 6,200. And 5 times 1 would give me the answer of 5. So now I will add them. 5, 0, 2. And I get 60,205. 60,205 is not the same as that one, so I will X that one out. Let's go down to C. 50 thousands, so 50 in the thousands place. 46 hundreds, 20 tens, 5 ones. I could already see that the 2 is going to be moving over, the 5, the 4 is going to move over, and the 5 is going to move over. So I see that I'm going to have some regrouping, so I'm going to come and do this one on the side to start off with. If I don't see something in the next place and I could just easily move it over, then I feel like the place value chart is easier. But if not, I would go right to the adding spot. So I'm going to actually solve this one up here. So I'm on C. I'm going to underline it for myself. 50 thousands would be 50,000. 46 hundreds would be 4,600. 20 tens, 20 times 10 is 200. 5 times 1 is 5. Also, if I wasn't sure that 46 times 100 was 4,600, I could do it on the side. 46 times 100. I would underline 46. I would underline 1 equals 46. 46 times 1 is 46. And I add 1, 2 zeros. And that's how I got my answer of 4,600. Now I'm going to add 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5 is 5. 0, 8, 4, 5. I'm going to see if that number is the same as this. Nope, that's 54,625, and I got 54,805. So that is also not right. D, 50 thousands. So I'm going to put 50 in my thousands place. 40 hundreds, 60 tens, 25 ones. This one has a lot of zeros, so I'm going to see if I could easily move these over to be and not regroup, but we will see. So 50 times 1,000 is 50,000, so I'm going to move the 5 over to the 10,000s place and erase the 5 from there. So now I have 0 thousands and I have 5 10,000s. 40 times 100 would be 4,000. So I'm going to move the 4 over to the thousands place. Oopsies. And I'm going to erase the 4 from there. 60 times 10 is 600. So I'm going to erase this 0. So 0 plus 6 is 6. And then 25 times 1 is 25. So I'll move the 2 to the tens place and erase it from the ones place. And I'll get my answer of 54,625, which is the answer I'm looking for. So I will circle that one. All right, last one. This one's probably one of the most difficult or longest problems to solve. Last one is E, 54 thousands. So I'll put 54 in the thousands place, 6 hundreds, 2 tens, 5 ones. Okay, so I don't see much moving around here other than the 54,000. 54 times 1,000 would be 54,000. So I'll move my 5 over from the thousands place and move it to the 10,000s place. And I see that this is 54,625. So I will circle that answer. So my answers for this one are A, D, and E. Number 13 says select all the statements that correctly compare the two numbers. So this is pretty easy, except we really have to make sure that we're saying the numbers out loud to ourselves and comparing them correctly. So this one says 61 is greater than 61. No, that is not true. Those two numbers are equal. This is another one that says select all that apply. So I have to go through and find all of the ones that are true. 716 is greater than 61. No, 716 is not greater than 61. 716 is less than 761. That is true. Remember, this is like an alligator mouth and it's hungry. It wants to eat the bigger number. D, 716 is equivalent to 716. That's true. E, 761 is greater than 716. That is also true. What is 7 times 100,000 plus 8 times 10,000 plus 6 times 1,000 plus 3 times 10 plus 2 times 1 equal to? All right, so this is called expanded notation. So for this, we are going to first multiply through, and then we'll get expanded form. So 7 times 1,000 is 7,000. 700,000, sorry. 7 times 100,000 is 700,000. Plus 8 times 10,000 would be 80,000. Plus 6 times 1,000 is 6,000. Plus 3 times 10 is 30. Plus 2 times 1 is 2. Now we recognize this. This is regular expanded form. Now I'm going to put it together to make standard form. So I have a 7 in the 100,000s place, an 8 in the 10,000s place, a 6 in the thousands place. I don't have any hundreds, so I'm going to put a 0 there. 3 in the tens place, or in a 2 in the ones place. If we didn't go through and put the values like this, I could also see that it's just telling me what place it's in. So if I drew a place value chart, I would put a 7 in the 100,000s, an 8 in the 10,000s, a 6 in the 1,000s, 3 in the tens, and 2 in the ones in order to get the number 786,032. Continue to our next video to review rounding and the other things that will be on our assessment on Thursday.